What up, you lab rats? This is episode number 13, and we're talking about spending habits for online content creators, especially when you're a beginner. What's worth it, what's not? Also, at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about bonuses. We're going to be giving out bonuses every single episode, so stay tuned for that. Let's have a good show, B. Pound it.
Pound it.
Okay, welcome back to Get in the Lab. My name is Megan Pangan.
And I'm Kevin.
And let's
get in the lab.
All right, guys. So before we get into today's episode, I want to take some time to thank our sponsor, audible.com. So you can visit audibletrial.com/getinTheLabPodcast for your free downloadable audiobook, as well as, am I hearing myself? Check. As well as a 30-day free trial. All right. I've been using Audible for the last 2 years as a part of like basically my master's degree, because everything after college, I had to learn from either books or online learning and stuff like that. And I've been reading. I just finished Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and we're going to get into some of those topics later on today. But before we get into that, let's talk updates.
Yeah. What kind of updates do you have going this week?
Me, well, we just finished kind of a crazy week of me like trying to situate all of the content and stuff for the show and how we're going to move forward. I have a lot of plans for us, as well as kind of, not ignoring the other sites that I have, like meganpangan.com and Snap It Fancy, and what we plan to do for Kevin Levu Photography. And so just a lot of content organizing and, projecting for future stuff for me. What about you?
Well, we're finalizing the new Kevin Levu Photography website. We're just in our last week, so once everything's finished, we'll be launching really soon.
Ooh, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, we made a lot of changes, so hopefully everything is now formed to the iPhone 6 Plus.
Cool.
Because that was some of the issues. Other things is, the hard week is done, and now...
Was it really that hard?
It was somewhat hard.
Yeah, you're tired, aren't you?
Yeah,
we're
I'm
both
pretty tired.
We're both actually really tired. But we want to bring it for you on this episode. So let's see. Let's start off with the husband and wife tag.
All right. Are you ready? You're first in this one.
Cool. All right, guys. So the husband and wife tag is just for you guys to get to know us. So what's my favorite kind of sandwich?
Well, I think you stopped eating sandwich, so I really don't know, but I would say, does a burger count as a sandwich? It's a sandwich.
I guess so. Yeah, that's right.
So.
Yeah, I would say
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. Yeah, good one.
All right.
So what else is going on? Also, we launched. Sorry, we launched Club Smash apparel, which is cool.
What was your first impression of me?
Didn't I read that already? I said, why is this guy so nice?
Oh yeah, why is this in here?
Secretly coming back.
Yeah, I just need to hear those words over and over. All right.
So nice.
What size shoe do I wear?
10, 9.5 sometimes. Yeah. Actually, I pick out Kevin's shoes.
Just the dress shoes.
Just the dress shoes, yeah. You buy all your athletic shoes. But yeah, anyway, other updates been going on. Like I said, Club Smash Apparel, which is this idea that came from smashing the old perceptions of yourself and having a brand to represent that. And for me, that was super important. So we've got basically all the clean designs that kind of made it through the first run of Yes, No from both of us. And they're on spreadshirt.com right now, as well as tpublic.com. But I'm planning on moving that to like our own thing, where like we actually go here to our local printers and actually print shirts. But we'll see what the pool for the shirts are and everything like that. But for the most part, it'll be cool to just wear the shirts on the show too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Clean Media Productions, the site has finally launched. I finally figured everything out. And we are a personal branding company that help you with that. So I'm very excited for that. So let's get in today's show.
Okay.
which is, again, spending habits for online content creators. Because you know what? Yes, it takes money to make money, right? Didn't you say that to me over and over again in the very beginning?
You have to spend money to make money.
Right. So I remember before, and I mentioned this a couple times on the show, where you were like, making money is easy. And this is, you know, we're going to break down spending habits. And before we really get into, you know, what should you be spending your money on, it's really important that you come from a place of a good mind.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the rich mindset, which you were kind of raised in, and the poor mindset, as far as perspectives on spending and earning money. So this was a big kind of like divider between us in the very beginning of our relationship. So, you know, when I say a poor mindset or a rich mindset, I don't necessarily mean like I was dirt poor and you were filthy rich, like, because I think that's how people kind of think of those words in their head.
Yeah.
But what I mean is, other than that monetary connotation that people think of, is like having a poor mindset means like coming from a negative space, from a place of fear.
Yeah.
Versus the rich mindset, which comes from a place of positivity, like dynamic and risk taking. But even that word, risk taking, like people are averse to risk, and so I'm more like to me, it sounds like you're more an action taker when you're in a rich mindset.
You're very proactive.
Proactive, that's the freaking word. I was like, what is the word?
Just the ideas that come to mind and you take immediate action.
Yes.
I mean, you think over it thoroughly before you take those actions. But
yes.
Yeah, you just have a more proactive mindset.
Right. And, you know, after reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I found that I had a very poor mindset, a very negative, fear-based way of thinking about money and what money means and what wealth means or what it means to be rich. And so, you know, to what I say to that is, you know, before you even start spending on your business, you know, you have to be in the right mindset. And, you know, we're deeming that as, you know, the rich mindset is have a rich perspective about what you're going to be spending it on and why you should be spending money on this. Okay. So here's another thing too. There can be an emotional tie to money. And this is very dangerous, because when you tie your emotions to money, it also comes from a place of negativity, from a poor mindset, and you're not seeing money as a tool. Money is simply a tool. And this is something I didn't get for a long time. We like to think of money as something that's like a part of us. Like when you have a lot of money, that means that, you know, you are a success in life or something like that. And if you don't have a lot of money, you are a failure. Yeah. And so you can attach your emotions to money.
Yeah. I mean, the way that you should think of it is that once you die, you're not going to take that money with you.
Oh my God, that you are reading my mind. Yeah, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. Yeah. I was just going to say that.
You're not going to see that shit anywhere.
That is so true. So, yeah, that's a great point. Like, what are you trying to hold on to your money for? Like, you going to take that into the next life? No. Yeah. You're not.
With this Ebola shit going all around. You don't know.
Don't be bringing that up in here. Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah. But that's true. You're not going to take your money when you die. So like, what is the point of hanging on to your money? You see money as simply as a tool for you to get to point A to point B in your business life, whatever, and not to get emotionally attached to it. Yeah. And a really good exercise that I found that I was listening to, Ask Altucher podcast, really great podcast that you guys should check out, is that whenever you're feeling like this emotional, like especially negative emotions, like, oh, I'm feeling depressed because I lost X amount of money with that website, whatever. Okay. So instead of saying I'm depressed or I'm sad or I feel bad about myself, make that separation and say, I notice that I'm feeling sad or depressed about, putting in money into this website that didn't really work out. And so when you make that separation, you'll be more in the habit of this daily practice of separating your emotions, which is like the reptilian brain. You're like, irrational basically. From your conscious, logical brain that makes smart decisions, especially with your money.
Yeah.
Right? Because let's be honest, like, you know, if you lost a lot of money, that could do a lot on your psyche, to how you view yourself as a person. So in order to bounce back from those dips and shakes and stuff like that in life, where you know, eventually are going to lose something, is not to be so emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I was spending money like $2,000 on this B School program, right, by Marie Forleo. And when I first bought it, I was like, oh, this is an asset because I'm going to learn something. But then I started to go back on myself and think, oh, I lost money. And I started to kind of think like, did I waste money on that course?
Yeah.
And like, you know, if I wasted money, does that mean I'm stupid? Right. Mm-hmm. So that kind of goes through, like, you don't actually say that to yourself, but you have these feelings.
Yeah. You just think of them.
Yeah. Like, am I stupid for spending that money? Right. Yeah. So you have all these negative, you have that poor mindset. And then that again transfers in the way that you spend money in the future and from then on.
And I think using your money, you should use it for a reason. Mm-hmm. It's a tool, like you said. And like a real life example for myself is when I first started. We started from nothing to something. I wasn't afraid of marketing, using that money for marketing our photography business. I felt we needed to get more work in order to get where we want to be in our photography business. Mm-hmm. So there was this thing by theknot.com, and they really pitched it to me. They really marketed it to me. That there's 20,000 brides that are looking for photographers in Los Angeles alone, and 15,000 brides in Orange County alone. Would you want to email blast your ad to all these 20,000, and it's $500 for one email blast for that day, or $300 for Orange County? Obviously, I chose LA, and I thought, whoa, cool. 20,000 brides. At least 20 is going to see that email, right? But it ended up not working for me. Mm-hmm. That $500 like was not to be seen again. Wow. But I mean, I wasn't emotionally attached. It was a risk-taking decision. But
you understood that from the beginning.
Yeah, and it was a trial and error because not a lot of people experience what I did. And if not a lot of people experience it, then they can't provide you honest feedback. It may work for some people and may not work for you, but it may work for you and not work for someone else. So it's worth taking that risk and try because you never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how you manage that risk was you not being emotionally attached to that money.
Yeah.
You're ready to say, hey, this is an experiment. This is a trial and error. If it works, freaking great. If it doesn't, small potatoes.
Yeah. Just move on. Because there's always more opportunities. Just kind of think of that. There's always more fish.
That
in
is
the
the rich mindset. See, so there is like, I think that's just so important. Like you could be like, I could lose out on $500 and then that's it. You cut off your creativity, your resourcefulness, instead of thinking, hey, this is an experiment. If it works, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm going to learn something from that. That's part of the rich.
Yeah.
The rich
and it
mindset
makes you
too.
And it makes you think out of the box and other tactics to use next time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If it didn't work out, you'd be like, snap, the shit didn't work. I got to find a way to like make it work somehow. So
it's similar to Megan and how we photograph weddings on weekends, and she can't attend to some of the meetings that most big podcaster either planned or just whatever parties they're having, right? Any mixers they're having, and Megan usually can't attend because we either have a wedding that day, but she finds another way to communicate to these people.
Right. Yeah, you just got to be resourceful. You got to hustle where you can.
Yeah.
Hustle where you can. Yeah. All right. So another thing that I want to bring up is understanding your spending tendencies. If you can understand what kind of spender you are, I think that's also going to be, that's also going to work in your advantage to know as like, am I just being this way right now, or am I being impulsive right now, or am I just wanting this instead of needing it? Mm-hmm. So the two things that I want you guys to kind of take note of, and I got this through a little like video tutorial through Nick Reese's site, another content creator, which is really cool. I'll link it in the description. And that is a satisficer like mentality versus a maximizer mentality. And this is great because I'm a satisficer and you're a maximizer. So let's define those really quick. So a satisficer is a type of spender who looks at something, they're not into shopping, if it suits all of their needs and they're good on the first run, like they don't need to look anywhere else. They're ready to buy. They usually don't haggle or discount or ask for like rates or whatever. They just buy. So that's a satisfier. So they're satisfied. So versus a maximizer who loves to shop, maybe not loves to, but they want to know that they're getting the best deal.
Yeah.
You always want to know you want to get the best deal, right? Yeah. Like that's really important to you because like if you go and buy an iMac today and then next week they're on sale for like $1,000 less, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah. You're going to be really upset, right? So you never want that to happen to you. So you're like always searching. So here's the issue. The maximizer most likely will get the best deal.
Yeah.
However, when you do that, when you're a little bit too maximizer, because you can be both. When you're too maximizer, you end up either waiting or you miss your chance to purchase something, or you also experience a lot of buyer's remorse because shit is always going to depreciate over time. Yeah. Right? So something's going to go on sale. It's just going to happen. And you're going to be like, oh, I should have waited, right?
Well, it's just how the world works.
That's how the world works,
just
right?
Like technology.
So if you know that, if you know you're just kind of, being a little bit too maximizer, check my time, 22. Okay. We'll have to take a break pretty soon. Then like, well, maybe, I just have to accept that this is always going to depreciate over time and I need this right now and I need to be accepting and happy with the fact that I'm going to get it at this price and I searched and waited and shopped as best as I can. I'm going to buy it and I'll be done with it. And then just leave it at that. Versus, however, the satisficer, that doesn't make you the best buyer in the world because that makes you impulsive. I'm very impulsive. It's like, if it's cool, it's good, whatever, $300, whatever. Maybe it wasn't worth $300. You fall for
tricks.
You're gullible, right? That's me hardcore. So like what I'm saying is you have to understand both sides of the spectrum so that you're not, being too impulsive or you're not being too wayfish about your spending. There's a sweet spot, which is being decisive. You go, okay, this is what I need. I'm going to be happy with that. You're not emotionally attached to it. Boom, you make that decision and you can move on with your life. Instead of being way too over on one side or way too over on the other side. All right. So let's take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll move on. All right. We're back from our break and we were just discussing maximizers and satisficers and how you're a maximizer, I'm a satisficer, and why is that important? So that's important because these are all under the thought perspectives of how one should think about money as far as like, what should I spend on? What should I, what's worth it for me as a online content creator? All right. So the next thing that we're going to talk about that is under the perspectives of, how should I think about money as a online content creator would be, there's really only two ways to look at money. And I got this from Rich Dad Poor Dad. I think it's amazing because it makes things a lot more simpler as far as, is this worth it for me or not?
Yeah.
Okay. As far as, because we're now seeing money as a tool. So, okay, money's a tool to get me from A to B. Now I'm looking at a product, a service, a course, a website, a logo design, a freelancer. And I'm saying, okay, should I spend money on this or not? Or should I try to do it myself or bootstrap it, whatever? There's only two ways to really look at that. And that is it an asset or is it a liability?
Yeah.
Okay. So assets defined are basically what puts money in your pocket.
Yeah. What benefits you as
what benefits you. And a liability is anything that takes money from your pocket.
And gives you no benefits. Right. So Rich Dad Poor Dad, he was speaking from a perspective of like investing and things like that, but I'm more along the lines of thinking of it as just a general rule of thumb. Like, is this going to benefit me moving forward from here on out? Yeah.
So let's talk about the example.
Strictly business.
Yeah. Let's talk about the example of you and your cameras.
Yeah. So when I first started, I started with like a Canon 5D Mark I, and I straight up just, worked for really cheap. And that was probably one of the examples.
Well, how much was that?
The 5D Mark I?
Yeah, how much was it?
That was about $1,200.
Okay, so see, $1,200 for a regular consumer or a hobbyist, that you would say that's expensive, right?
Yeah.
But you saw that as an asset. Why?
Yeah, I knew that whatever features it had during that time, it was going to benefit or complement my work to kind of push me a little bit more. And I knew I was going to be in the realm of staying with Canon and investing in all of their lenses because I just appreciate the value of their product.
That's it right there. Yeah. You saw it as an investment.
Yeah.
So therein lies the kind of key as to how you're going to decide whether something is an asset or a liability for you. Sometimes it's very cut and dry, clear, as far as like if you were truly investing your money in a house, like yes, a house is an asset, a car is a liability. But say you're trying to, spend money on website design or whatever, and you want to decide whether it's worth it or not. Yeah. Like, do you think is it an investment or not, or an asset? Is it going to bring money to you later on in your business? And so I would say yes, right? Obviously, good, clean website design, whether it's you doing it or a professional, that's an asset to your business. It can become a liability if you don't do it right. Yeah. Right?
Exactly. Like if you kind of picture a car, you have the engine, and you have the body on the outside. The body on the outside is more like a liability, and the engine is an asset because without the engine, the car doesn't run.
Right. So I think it's so much clearer for me, helping me, because as I transition my poor mindset into a rich one, like it's so much easier for me to go like, is this an asset for me or is it a liability for me? And I just ask myself all the time when I'm faced with spending money on my business, because I come from the upbringing like that to be frugal and not to spend too much, and can I do it myself? And actually that's a very poor mindset because I don't get to where I want to be because I'm never expanding and letting my money work for me.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm actually working for the money basically. So that's a really big thing for me. And did you have any other real life examples on, assets versus liabilities, or just spending in general? Like how do you spend on your business? Do you ask yourself questions like, I'm sure when something is pretty pricey, you go, well, is this going to help me or not?
Yeah.
Like is this going to be worth it or not?
Every time like Canon makes a new series of 5D within their 5D series, and I know it's going to benefit us in low light situations, or if it's going to prevent us from upgrading like little things inside our camera, such as like mirrors, forming into mirrorless cameras. It's worth the investment.
Right. So,
if it's going to benefit us while we're shooting, definitely I'm going to invest right into the business.
Right.
If I invest $1,000 in marketing and I'm going to return with 20 clients, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk takeaways. All right. Let's sum it up for you. All right. So first is to get your mind right. Are you in a, poor, negative space, in your mind, how you think about money, versus are you in a positive, rich, mindset?
Yeah.
And the rich mindset is, I'm an action taker. I'm not risk averse. I risk manage because I don't, and we'll take it to the next step. I don't attach my emotions to the money that I have. I see money as a tool.
Yeah.
Money is simply a tool. Money does not buy you happiness, right? We've all heard that. However, we still kind of delude ourselves sometimes when we think, oh, if I just get that area rug, or if I just get that house or that whatever, then I'll be happy. And really, happiness is only a moment.
Yeah, it's only a moment.
It's a fleeting moment, and you're going to be, after you get that thing, you're going to be searching for the next thing.
Yeah, if you want longevity happiness, invest into your own business, invest into yourself that actually will benefit you in your business.
Yeah.
And because that's longevity happiness.
That is longevity.
Because if you see any return from doing that investment, that risky investment that you thought about so much, it's actually going to take you far.
Right.
Yeah. And you're going to get to where you actually want to be.
Right. And if you are having kind of trouble about, whether or not you should spend on something or not, and maybe you're feeling a little remorse because you used to have that money, understanding your tendencies and whether or not you're a satisficer or a maximizer, like we are. Now that we kind of understand that, we can kind of keep each other in check as to, am I just being impulsive right now? Do I just want the shiny new thing right now?
Yeah.
Or is this really going to be an asset for our lives and for our business?
Yeah.
And that's a nice little just double check for yourself to understand that, there are mentalities behind how you make your financial decisions. And when you can understand that, you can manage.
Yeah.
Right. So, and lastly, again, just understanding what is going to be your assets, defining for yourself what's an asset and what's going to be a liability for you moving forward. And that is going to be a really great guide because everything starts in the mind, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a really great guide for you is whether or not, should I spend on this or not? Is this going to be worth it for me or not?
Yeah. Ask yourself if you're a risk taker or you're always leaning to the most safety decisions in life.
Right. Right. Safety.
Yeah.
We can get on that one for a while.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it for this episode.
Yeah.
We have a bonus, though. We have a bonus, which we're going to call part 2 as to what did we spend money on specifically. And we're going to talk about what we spent money on and what helped and what hurt our businesses. And we're just going to run through them in the gambit, and you're going to find that in part 2, which you can download right there below. And all you have to do to get it is to sign up to our newsletter list to get the part 2. Okay. So as well as this bonus, all of the bonuses that we're going to create from here on forward, and maybe some bonuses for a couple episodes back, will be featured in this bonus downloadable thing that you can get there in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any finishing thoughts on money and spending money and spending habits?
I really don't. I thought I said it already.
I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to say?
That's it.
Well, for me, because you've always been in that rich mindset, making that transition is tough. And I think that when I notice I'm being super cheap or super poor mindset, like I don't want to spend that money, even if it is like $6 for hosting or something like that, it's so ridiculous that I could be really, really cheap. I just go, I notice that I notice that I'm being cheap right now. Am I being cheap because I have a poor mindset, or am I being cheap because of another reason?
Yeah. I think I can relate to that. Like, if you're cheap on yourself, then you're being cheap on your product. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. So, if you can't even take care of yourself, put on, do your hair right and dress well, and, you're just doing things cheaply all the time, that reflects in your life and your business. For sure. Thanks so much for spending some time with us, guys, and getting in the lab with us. This is all about really smashing the old perceptions of yourself and getting in the lab and doing some experimenting, how could we make this shit better? Yeah. We're always asking ourselves that question. And, how can we make ourselves better? Because if you yourself are better each day and every day, and you try to be at least, the people around you, they really respond to that. Like for me, I try to just be the best wife, the best cook that I can be here in the house, or the best cleaner. That falls off sometimes, but I'm always telling myself, do it because, you want this sort of life, and the people around you are going to appreciate it.
The laws of attraction.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thank you so much for listening in today and watching with us today. Subscribe to the channel if you're digging this stuff, and get on our newsletter list at getinthelab.me. Yep. And you can tweet at us at Megan J Photo and
Kevin Lee Vu.
at Kevin Levu, and tons of work. So tons of new bonuses. Hopefully our Get in the Lab shirts are coming in the mail, or our Club Smash shirts are coming in the mail that we can sport proudly on the show. And yeah, we're just going to be trucking along and trying to create more episodes for you to help you in your life and your business. All right. So take care, guys. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
All right.
And once again, my name is Megan.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're out.
We're out.
All right, my boys.